everyone. So hopefully now you've all watched Mrs. Mitchell and Miss Fermore's video on challenge 6, and you know that your challenge is to grow something in your where you're living that you eventually will be able to eat. So we know, like they said, that it's not going to be at the end of this week that we're going to be able to eat it. This is going to take a little bit of time for whatever we decide to grow to actually grow to the stage where we can harvest it and eat it. It's going to be something that we're watching over a period of time, and we're waiting until it's finally ready, and then we will feel that brilliant sense of satisfaction when it's all grown. Now, also, you might be like me where you haven't actually got an outside space where you can grow something. You haven't got any soil or any grass that you can use. So I'm going to be showing you, and I'm going to be doing my research all around something that I can grow in my actual house. So don't worry if you live somewhere that doesn't have a garden at all, or doesn't have a garden with grass, because we're going to be working around that. We're going to be really, really clever and learn about different ways that we can grow things. So your first challenge today is to think about what you already know. So your learning objective is to reflect on something that you've already got knowledge of. So you're thinking back, you're reflecting on what you already know about this, and then you're going to be recording it in a mind map. But your mind map's going to look slightly different to ones that we've done before. So in the middle of your mind map, you're going to have the word plants, and then I want you to have 3 bubbles around your mind map, and I've got 3 questions for you that I want you to put one question in each bubble, and then put around each question the things that you already know about that. So your first question is, what do I already know about plants? So I know you'll have done some things in year 1 about plants. So I want you to think back to that. You might know, I know some of you for your What Can I Become an Expert In challenge and did things about plants and growing things. So you might already be ahead of the game and know some things from that. So that's going to be your first question. Your second question is, what types of plants do I already know? So have a think. What plants do you know? What plants can you see out of your window, in your garden, when you go on your walk every day? What kind of plants do you already know about? So what flowers do you already know? What fruits and vegetables do you already know that grow from the ground? Okay, so have a think about what you already know about that. And your third question is, what do I think plants need to grow? So obviously we see plants all around, but how are they growing? What is it that they need? So as humans, we need to eat, we need to drink water, we need to go out in the sunshine for us to be able to be alive. So what is it that makes plants grow? What is it that makes plants remain alive, if you like? So those are your 3 questions, and I want your mind map to look something like mine. So I'm going to post a picture of this. So you've got, like I said, plants in the middle, your 3 questions in bubbles, and then all of the things you can remember about or already know about that question around the edge of each one. Okay, I'm going to put a picture of that on the timetable for you to have a look at. Okay, so I want you to pause the video now, and I want you to go and have a go at that task, and then I want you to come back to the video and press play, and then you can listen to the second task that you need to do. So your second task, now that you have thought about all the things you already know about plants, there might have been, or there will have been, I'm sure, because there was when I started thinking about it, some questions that you have about plants. So when you had the question, what do they need to grow, were you a bit frustrated because you couldn't quite remember what it was that they needed to grow? Have you got questions about a certain type of plant? Have you got questions about how you grow plants inside or outside? So what kind of questions can you think of that you think you're going to need the answers to be able to grow your own fruit or vegetable or herb that you're going to be able to eat? So what questions do you have? So on a separate page in your learning journal, or if you've got space on your mind map like I do, I want you to just do a questions box. And we do this in our learning reflective journals at school, don't we, in our little black books. So it's exactly the same. We always do the questions, and we think about what we want to find out throughout this week, things that we need to still know. So I want you to do that and write your questions, and do as many as you can think of, okay? And think about the things you want to find out, what you want to know, and that you need to know to be able to complete our learning of planting something that you can then eat, which is our challenge, isn't it? So I want you to do that. and write down your questions. And once you've finished all that, I want you to look back at the learning objective and the success criteria and see if you've achieved that. So your learning objective was to reflect on something you already know about. So did you think back? Did you, for success criteria 1, did you remember some things that you've already been taught or that you've already found out about at home that you already knew? Okay. And have you been able to write those down and record those on your mind map so that you've written them down to remind yourself what you already know? And lastly, have you been able to question a topic? Have you been able to write some questions down that mean that you are challenging your thinking and you're really wanting to learn and find out the answers to those questions? So have you been able to come up with those questions? And if you have, then you've been successful in our learning of being able to reflect on your prior knowledge, on something that you already knew about. So well done, that's really, really good. Right, don't forget to send a picture of your mind map and your questions to your class teacher. And the question is very important because then the class teachers can work out what they're going to put for your lessons for this week so that we make sure we answer all of those questions. So hope you have a lovely weekend and I look forward to seeing all your learning later. Bye!